If you look at the 5 countries Qin Gang visited, they're very different places. They speak different languages, they have different economies and different cultures. Even the 2 institutions he visited, the AU in Ethiopia and the Arab League in Egypt, are all different. How do you look at this arrangement?
The Chinese foreign minister's visit to Africa is coming at a very critical time, because it is coming at a time when the global economy has gone through a lot of stress following the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, but also because of the disruptions in the global supply chain following the Russia and the Ukraine war, but also because of global rivalry, which we saw particularly informed by technological wars that also affected the global supply. And of course, the ever-abiding challenge of climate change. And so the foreign minister's visit is important because it has kept the tradition of foreign ministers visiting Africa in the beginning of the year.
The Chinese foreign minister also tackled the issue of so-called debt trap narrative. Qin Gang basically during a press conference said the so-called debt trap is a media hype. It's a Western discourse trap imposed on China. Do you agree? Does Qin Gang, the Chinese foreign minister, have a point?
Well, the debt trap is a myth. Studies that have been conducted by even American university or institutions themselves have come to the conclusion that it's a myth. And in fact, if you look at even the debt that is attributed to China, China is already writing off quite a bit of those debts. And so it remains as a myth. And I think this is one aspect that we see Africa being sucked into, what one would call a new geopolitical warfare, which is also more or less like a Cold War, where some countries see that Africa perhaps is leaning towards one aspect of global development as opposed to the other. But Africa has always remained neutral. Africa has always remained non-aligned. And so the debt trap is part of that, what I say, new Cold War.